Welcome to an episode of Marketing for Your Boring Business, helping your message get seen in a cluttered newsfeed. I am so excited today. I'm always excited, but I'm especially excited today because I get to talk with my dear, wonderful friend, Denise Naughton. We met in actually kind of a weird, unconventional way. We went through a leadership training like a million years ago together and got roomed together. And I did nothing but make her feel weird and insecure because I was so much younger than her and I had no idea. And she is an ageless beauty who is unfathomably and explicitly just phenomenal woman and so much talent. Denise Naughton is an Emmy Award winning and multi-Emmy nominated producer who has created thousands of hours of television and worked on 4 startup shows, helping to make them from an idea into a reality. Before starting her company, Brand New Media, Denise worked in New York City as an executive producer of a national entertainment show where she also created multiple one-hour network specials. She currently lives in St. Louis, Missouri, providing video production to small businesses and DIY video training courses. Welcome to the show, Denise.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Yes, Denise and I go way back. She and I have had like the weirdest adventure over the past 7 years of friendship. And I was so excited when she decided to start her own business, Brand New Media, because that meant I got to have her on my show so she could teach you guys what you should be putting in your video trailer. We talk a lot about video on the show and why it's important and why going live is a thing and what you need to do. But, sometimes my boring business friends just need to have a video up that highlights who they are and what they're about. And Denise is here to help us with that. So Denise, just, who are you? What are you about? What is it that small businesses need to get started on this crazy video adventure?
Well, I think the first thing that people need to think about is it's video can be this overwhelming thing, but think about it, you're not going to eat the dinosaur in one bite, right? So you need to nibble away at the dinosaur, and video is a little bit the same way. So you need to dissect it and break it down into a manageable amount. So when you're talking about what to put in your video, the first thing that I always think about and the first thing that I always ask companies is what sets you apart from other companies? What's your niche? How do you market yourself? That's what you should be putting in your video. If you are the only boutique that sells pink hats in your city, then that should be in your video. So that's the biggest thing that I think you need to do.
Awesome. So you have talked a lot about how determining what should be included in your video and other platforms where I've seen you. What is it that you think our boring business owners should be putting in their videos?
Well, anything that tells the people who you are. If you're a family person, mention that. Don't be afraid of that. The more people know about you, the more they're going to like you, the more they're going to relate to you. Everybody's got a family, if that's your thing, then that's your thing. If you're not, then maybe you like to ride horses. Somebody's going to connect with your hobbies as much as your business. And the more that you can connect with them, goes back to, what is it, like and trust.
Hold on. I'm going to have to have you record that. Something happened. It was a stall. Did you touch something?
No, well, I took out one of these.
Oh, yeah.
I can't have them both in.
Yeah, I think it was hitting your mic and it hit it. So we're going to re-ask that question. So, all right, Max, this is where you need to edit. Okay. So what do you think people should be including in their videos? Maybe as an outline for a video. What would a start, middle, and finish look like for a video? What are the things that should go in there?
Well, you should start by introducing yourself. And then I would go into maybe a little bit about your business so people know what you're doing initially. And then I would talk a little bit about maybe who you are as a person. That's equally as important, I think, in the small business world, because the more people can connect with you as a person, then they're going to want to give you their money. Nobody wants to just walk into, whatever. We all go into the big box stores, right? Everyone does. But if you knew the person, when you go down to the corner store in your neighborhood, don't you feel a little bit more happy whenever someone is standing behind the counter and greets you by your name and, asks you how you are and how your kids are? It's a little bit of that same feeling. You want to give that to the people watching your video, through your video. You don't want to go overboard and tell them all your problems, but if you if you like horses and you like to horse ride, right, then tell people that. If you've got kids, like, tell people that, because that makes you more relatable, and everybody wants to connect in some way. And then I would just wrap it up with, maybe a little bit of a sales pitch, but you don't want it to be, you don't want to front end the sales pitch, because you don't want to be a used car salesman. Like, nobody wants to listen to the guy screaming at him at 2:00 in the morning, right? Like, buy a used car from me. But if you are a used car salesman and you're at a dinner party and you're just sharing tips and information, then people are like, oh, that used car salesman, he was kind of nice. Maybe I should go back to him in the end. So you want to start, introduce yourself, go through and explain a little bit about your business so they know what your business is, a little bit about you, and then I would wrap it up with, like, maybe the pitch.
So how can you have a pitch without sounding like a salesperson? Like, what's your advice there?
I always go with education first. So my rules with video are it's edutain, basically. So you want to educate and inform and entertain people. So so if you can give people tips that they can learn from, that builds your trust factor. That makes you the expert. And again, then they're like, oh wow, this person's not really trying to, like, shove something down my throat. They really want to help me. They're giving me something for free, essentially. And they're also, like, you're doing it in a likable way, because you're not shoving something down their throat. So by doing that, you're automatically, like, building trust and likability. And that's what you need to be. That's what a good salesman does, right?
Yeah, exactly. So we talk a lot on the show about, like, going live and doing video on a regular basis in, like, chunks of information. But what we're talking about today is, like, that trailer, that introductory video to a business, where it's like, if I'm going to make one video and I'm going to, like, invest a bit more versus, like, just pulling out my phone and pointing it at myself, invest in, like, a better productive video, like what you guys do at Brand New Media. What are sort of maybe some of the differences that people should think about as far as, like, what should go in that video versus, like, specific individual pieces of information or going live and stuff like that?
Like, what do you mean? I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. So maybe, like
visually, or?
Yeah, visually, and, what should they be saying? What should they be showing off? What should they be highlighting? What does a trailer look like versus just, like, a regular weekly video on YouTube?
Gotcha. Well, the trailer, I would say, keep it a little bit more general, like an overview. Like, your weekly tips are going to be your weekly tips, but your overview is going to be more, if you have a store, then, show people around your store. But if you have seasonal items, I would not show seasonal items, because you want to make sure that video can live for a long time. You don't have to update it as frequently. You don't want to forget about it either. But, if you put up Christmas, if you're shooting stuff right, in December, and you're shooting holiday items, then you're gonna have to change it in January. But if you can shoot whatever's in your store or, your business that's not specific to a certain time period, I would avoid that. Anything that sets you apart from your competitors, definitely highlight that. Anything that you just, that you feel that you're using in your current advertising and marketing, highlight that.
Awesome. So when we talked about before about how you want to share that personal information, do you think that personal information should be, like, shared, like, verbally, or, like, maybe, like, in that B-roll footage? And for those no B-rolls, like, someone's talking and you're seeing something, your extra footage.
You would do both. In my world, it's always, if you see it, if you say it, see it, So,
okay.
Like, you're saying it. I mean, you don't have to, like, you can always be on camera saying it, but as a general rule, it's good to have both. I mean, if you're talking about your kids, it's always good to show the kids if you feel comfortable doing that,
Yes, very much. So how personal and should people be in a trailer, do you think? Like, I kind of feel like, oh, I'm a mom and I do this and I do that. And that's very, like, surface level. And do you think that is enough for getting personal? Or do you think it needs to be more, like, deeper personal, like trauma stories or, like, important life-changing moments or the big inspirational things?
I think it depends on your business. I mean, for some businesses, just saying that you're a mom is okay, And I guess, let me back up. Number one, it's all your comfort level. You know, like if you don't want to go into a traumatic story, don't go into a traumatic story. If you're like the bubble factory, you probably don't want to bring in a traumatic story, you know, or because it doesn't fit your brand, right? But if you're a personal trainer and you've overcome a tragedy and that's how you help motivate other people to reach their fitness goals, then absolutely. Again, if you're comfortable saying it, but I think it's situational.
Awesome. That's great to know. So you have some tips that can make or break a video. What are those tips?
Oh my gosh. Well, lighting is a big one, obviously. So that's one of those things where you want the light on your face, not behind you. Try to use natural lighting as much as possible. I'm sure I don't know how many of these you already put into your podcast, but a lot of people have a tendency to not want to stare at the sun, and that makes complete sense. Most of us don't, right? But if you're outside and you're shooting a video on your phone, you want to get that sun on your face, because if it's behind you, you're going to be shadowed and nobody's going to be able to see your face. And that's the whole point of the video, right? If you're on video, you want to be able to see what you're filming. Audio is a big one. Shooting on your phone, if you're doing like a Facebook Live or a video and you're holding the phone yourself, then you're probably going to be okay, because it's going to be an arm's length away. But if you're going to be setting it up on a tripod and shooting from any sort of distance, I would suggest investing in a microphone. It doesn't have to be an expensive microphone. I would say graduate into basically everything and see, you know, what works best for you before you go out and spend a lot of money. Oh my gosh, this one kills me. Don't shoot video this way. Well,
really?
Okay. So wait, well, I'm sorry. Instagram,
she's holding your phone up for
Facebook,
the profile, like the selfie.
Facebook. Yeah. So like if you're doing like Snapchat and Instagram stories, then absolutely go portrait mode. But if you're shooting anything else, please, for the love of every former TV professional and current TV professional in the world, hold it horizontal. Well, you just maximize more of your space too. So, you know, like how many times do you see the video on Facebook, the portrait video on Facebook, and you've got like the big black bars on the side of it? It's so ugly, right? But if you shoot the other way, then you fill the entire screen. You have the opportunity to condense it down into like that 6x6 or 600 by 600 square, which gives you a great picture, which gets more visibility.
Yes, and I'm going to have to agree with you there. I definitely want to be shooting those videos horizontally for, I think, like professional videos, especially if you're going to be like uploading them to YouTube specifically. I know that like the majority of people are interacting with social on their phones, and that's when those like profile style videos and stuff are okay. Again, like she had mentioned, Snapchat, Instagram stories, Facebook stories, all that kind of stuff. Maybe even like when my kids are running around, that's usually what I'm doing too. But anything for business is definitely that landscape.
And I mean, I'm guilty of it too. Like I've done it. Like I can't believe I've done it, but I have. I mean, it's human nature. That's how you hold your phone, right? So like, I mean, I've taken video that way, and then I'm like, God.
Then you have to like make the background all pretty, and so you don't have those white black bars.
I think we both agree on this one as well. The Manfrotto mini Pixie tripod.
Oh yeah.
That turns into a monopod. Yes. That is my best friend. I carry that with me everywhere I go, and it is basically for anyone that's fairly familiar with video or has dabbled and is ready for the next step. You may be familiar with a gimbal, which will cost you like $300. This will give you a smooth look for $30. I mean, how much are they? I don't know, like somewhere between 20 and 40.
Depends on what Amazon's doing, but it's usually between 20 and $30 for this contraption.
So like a tenth of the price, it gets you into the game. It's super versatile, and like hands down, like I shoot so much stuff using that, like on my phone, and edit with it, and I don't know.
Yeah, and I will, the only issue with this Manfrotto tripod, and I'll put the link to it in the show notes, guys, is that it's only for horizontal. Like it can't go.
No, you can. Take it off. Unscrew it. And then see that screw in the middle?
Oh, you can? Oh, I just learned something about my own stuff. Oh, my Lance, I am such a dork. I didn't even notice. Oh, that's so cool. I bought a new tripod for nothing. Guys, nothing. This is why you listen to the podcast.
And then, if you push that little button, you can like angle it so that it goes, so push the red button.
Yeah, the red button, but it only doesn't go very far.
Yeah, I know. It doesn't go all the way, but
but this is a fantastic tool. I love this thing. I carry it around with me all the time. Like people probably think I'm weird because it like sticks out of my purse all the time. But yes, I'm going to go play with it some more now because I have a new way to use it. But yeah, the Manfrotto tripod's a fantastic tool. And I know that a lot of industry pros in my world of social media, a lot of people really love and use it all the time for stuff. So if you're going to get, I guess what she's saying, if you're going to get one piece of equipment for you to record with your phone, the Manfrotto tripod is the one to do. And again, the link for that will be in our show notes as well. So is there anything else that you think that's like really important for people to do? Like maybe how professional does a trailer need to be? Like if like you're going to invest in one video, I would presume a trailer would be the one good investment where you should be like hiring someone to help work through that vision, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
What do you think people should look for when they're trying to hire somebody? But of course, if you're in St. Louis, go talk to Denise. But if you're not, like if you're like me in Korea, like how do you find someone to help work with for that?
You know what, I would, just after being here and kind of introducing myself to that landscape, because I'm so used to being surrounded by professional photographers in, you know, like a traditional TV environment, what I'm finding is there are a lot of people shoot video, right? I mean, we're in that world. It's very accessible to pretty much everyone. But I would go with referrals because I think there's a lot of people that know how to do it, but they don't know how to do it super well. And so go off referrals. I would check for audio, like how great is the audio? Like have them send you some samples for sure. Ask a lot of questions, you know, like how do you plan to highlight my business? You know, it's a good question. But I think referrals are probably going to be your best bet if you can at all. I mean, ask around for sure, and don't just go with the first person that comes your way. Be willing to spend a little bit more money and realize that it is an investment. Because I think so many people today, it can sneak up on you, but it is a representation of your brand. So don't go with your cousin Joe because he's going to do it for $100 because you want to save $400, which I understand is a lot of money maybe, but this is something that's going to live with you for a long time. So cut down do it right and cut down some advertising somewhere else and see if they'll work with you on pricing, if like maybe payment installments, if you can't pay it all at once.
Yeah. And I would also say this is like all the places you can use a trailer. Like, you know, you can use a trailer on YouTube. You can use a trailer on Facebook. You can use a trailer for advertising. You can use it to send, like, let's say you're a chamber member. Yeah. Referrals.
Referrals.
Yep, yeah. You can use it in email marketing. You can use it, like I said, if you're going to connect people on networking, like, hey, we met at this event, learn more about me and my business, watch this video. Like there's so many ways to use it. So it is, well, it might be kind of it can be a sticker shock investment depending on who you work with and where you're at and things like that. I really do feel that it is a worthwhile investment because you can, you build your website, which of course is the number one investment for every business. And then I think that the next one would definitely be something like a video, because one, again, you can put it on your website, which again, websites that have videos have a higher retention rate and call rate and sales rate. But you're able to just use it in so many fantastic, great ways and places. Like you will keep finding more and more ways. And I think if you spend a lot of money on it, you're going to be like, everyone's getting it. Everyone's getting a copy of my video in their Christmas stocking. Like you're going to be like legit everywhere you can. It's going to be.
Exactly.
So,
well, and also see if maybe the company, and I don't know, I mean, I know how to operate my business and I'm very, very, very well aware of the budgets of small businesses because I am one. And so like I'm all about, especially at this stage of the game, maximizing a budget for somebody. So if you have somebody come out and shoot an interview for your trailer, for your business like profile, see if they'll take that and, make other projects out of it for you at a discounted rate or just for like an add-on rate. Not necessarily discount, I shouldn't say, but like at an add-on rate, so like maybe you spend $500 for your 1.5-minute video, but you want them to create a minute version or a 45-second version, then, see if they'll do that, not at $500.
Yeah. I guess it's kind of like you pay, like, okay, pay for the shoot and then an edit of this kind, and then these little mini edits. It's definitely a great idea. You also could ask them for the raw footage, so you could have it, and maybe if you're feeling adventurous or whatever, you're able to edit little snippets of audio that you like about yourself to put into a video to like click to learn more type of thing for sales videos and stuff like that, for sure.
Oh, that's a great idea for sure. Like get that raw video, and then see if you can find like maybe a college student that could help you edit some of it too. You know,
Fiverr.
Yeah. Oh, like Fiverr, sure. Yeah.
Like a Fiverr thing. And once you have that content created, you can do this. So like I work with a video editor for the videos for All-in-One on our YouTube channel, but also I work with a photographer as well, and I give her like my content plan for the month, and then she produces images, but then she also like images she's also made. Like I did this setup with this collage, and I have all these different kinds of pictures of them. She'll send me the extras, and I can use them in other different ways as well, like maybe for on the website for a stock photo or a blog article or whatever it may be. So most people that are creating content for you are usually willing to give you the original files in some way, shape, or form so that you can do more with it, because you know, what are they going to do with information specifically for your brand? So
exactly. One other thing too, maybe just get a lot of quotes and kind of see like the range. Anybody that's like super low, you may want to be concerned about. And then I've also heard some horror stories of people paying $10,000 for a ridiculous video that was a complete bust. So just, you know, I mean, it's kind of the laws of anything else. If it's too good to be true, maybe it is. And on the flip side, beware of the people that talk a big game, maybe.
Yeah, I think it's about finding that happy medium of like, if it's really cheap, it's probably not good. If it's too expensive, it's probably not worth it. And it's finding what you're comfortable with spending. That's why it's important, I think, as a business owner to present a videographer or a company like, this is what my budget is, and this is what I'm looking for. How can we make this work together? So I know I have to ask that to clients, like, oh, I'm looking for all this stuff. I'm like, well, that's cool, but like, what's your budget? Because based on your budget, I will take what you're looking to accomplish and try to fit as much of it into it based on my pricing.
Absolutely. That's a great suggestion as well. And I had one more, but I forgot what I did.
It's fine. I totally understand. We've talked about a lot of stuff today.
You're comfortable with the person that you hire as well, because being in front of the camera can be intimidating enough as it is. And you definitely want to be with somebody that you feel comfortable with, that's going to make you feel comfortable, because if you're not at ease, it's going to come through and show through in the video product.
Yes, definitely. That is a great tip. And I think a great way for us to kind of wrap up for today. Any final thoughts on what people should make sure that they're accomplishing with their video trailer for their business?
No, I think we've covered it all. Actually, I'll throw out my tagline. How's that? Just be you. And let us do the rest, but let someone else do the rest. Just be you.
Yeah, that's the best thing. You know, we have that too. Just be yourself. And remember, you are enough. You are your business. You are the reason that people keep walking into your door. So let that be how you get new people in the door, by just being yourself and talking about what you love to do every day through video. So, well, thanks for being on the show, Denise. How can people find you and follow you on social?
Thank you. I am Brand You Media across every one of the platforms. So on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Brand You Media.
Awesome. We'll make sure to include those links in the show notes. And thanks again for tuning in, guys. And until next time, I will see you soon.